God gives the gift of peace to rule in our hearts, but Satan comes and tries to bring fear to control us. If you want victory over the devil, you need to learn how to get victory over fear. He's a liar, and he has one purpose: to come to kill, steal, and destroy you. But I'm concerned because a lot of people are saying things that are contrary to the Bible. Oh, you can't help it if you're anxious. You can't help it if you're afraid. But if we look at the Bible, Jesus says, do not fear, all through the Bible, Old Testament. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and of good courage. Don't be afraid, in Joshua 1. And then Jesus says, don't fear, little flock. It's the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. So we have to agree that fear is not welcome, and fear is counter to faith. So what do you do when you feel afraid? First of all, I want to tell you, if you're a Christian, you have the power not to be a slave to that fear. I don't want you to think you're never going to feel fear again. And also, there's a spirit of fear. It says it in the Bible. So what do you do when you feel fear? Well, many years ago, I came out of a building, like a long time ago, and a German Shepherd charged me. And I was so afraid until I realized there was a fence separating that dog from me. And just because you feel fear doesn't mean it has to make you a slave. So what's the truth? The truth is, in Romans 8:15, it says, we have not received the spirit of bondage or slavery that makes us a slave to fear, but instead we've received the spirit of adoption, by whom we cry out, Abba, Father. So you know what I do? When I'm afraid, I say, Father. I talk to my Father in heaven. I say, Father, I feel afraid. I feel fear. And he usually tells me something from his word, or he tells me to stand my ground, or I simply choose not to give in to the feeling of fear. So fear has this power that it can make you think you have no choice, but that's not true. That's the enemy. You know, one time I was walking down the street and I felt this terrible feeling like I was going to fall down and have a panic attack and go crazy. And God spoke to me and he said, cast that thing down in Jesus' name. So you can't please God when you're bound by fear. Now I realize a lot of people struggle with fear, but go to the Word. Go to the Word and get your victory. Have you been afraid most of your life? You can't think of a time where you weren't tormented by fear? I get it. But listen, there's hope in the Bible. In Hebrews 2:15 it says, Jesus died on the cross to destroy him who had power over death, that is the devil, and release those who were in slavery to that fear their whole lives. Maybe that's you. So Jesus died to set you free from being a slave to fear. You may still feel fear, but he can give you victory over fear. Come to him and read this verse and say, God, this has to be true. Give me the gift of your peace. Bye. Blessed Jesus. Listen to the birds.